how much of the situation in Maharashtra do you believe is coming under control, or is it still a kind of almost crisis-like situation there?
So, Srinivasan, it is right now we are at the peak, but we are seeing some early signals of plateauing effect, at least in cities like Mumbai. Mumbai, which had a test positivity rate somewhere around 28%, last 6 consecutive days has been hovering around 17 to 18%. So ensured that...
So there is that variation.
Yeah, and
yes,
also we have seen that places like Nanded, we are clearly seeing that the plateauing effect is starting. So we personally feel that at in another week and a half, we will be past the peak, and we will see a steep decline happening after that. Clearly, there are measures in place, restrictions in place, but currently the healthcare infrastructure is clearly overwhelmed, but there is no need to panic because the response is much more organized and coordinated. So I think definitely this time, at least this peak has hit us like a tsunami. The rise has been in a geometric progression. But I think a large proportion of the disease is still asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic. And the case fatality rate has been definitely on the lower side.
Okay. But when you say the healthcare system has been overwhelmed, the hospitals and medical infrastructure in Maharashtra are severely under strain, yes? I mean, you're seeing so many doctors themselves posting on Twitter.
Absolutely.
Saying
there are two things.
It's a crisis.
Last time in the first surge, a lower socioeconomic strata and the public health infrastructure was under huge strain. This time the demographic changed to a little middle class and a new rich class. And which is why we saw like cities like Mumbai, the private healthcare infrastructure completely strained out. Because even today, if you go on the dashboard of Mumbai, you will see around 1,000 beds which are empty. But necessarily that population is not willing to go to a public hospital. But we have added 3,000 beds. We are building 4 more jumbo centers which are getting operational. So I think the healthcare infrastructure is now getting ready. But definitely there is a strain. And outside Mumbai, particularly Pune has been badly hit.
Yeah. Okay. Abhay, sorry, last word from you. Compared to Delhi, are your hospitals in Mumbai put under much greater strain? And how are your doctors coping?
So as much strain, Srinivas, I think our hospitals in all 6 states right now are inundated with lots of patients. But I think like Dr. Joshi mentioned, it seems to be plateauing in the sense that, we're not seeing an exponential rise in Mumbai, what we were seeing a couple of weeks ago. And like I said, it'll always take some time, few days for healthcare infrastructure to ramp up. The ability of the virus to outpace our ability is far more. But we've also seen that what happens in Mumbai happens in Delhi a couple of weeks later. And I've been saying that on many forums. So, there is definitely some positive from his statement, and hopefully we're going to see that in Delhi as well.